Hey, what's good? What's good? Different angle here, experimenting with a different angle, trying to do some different stuff here. A little bit more intimate here. But yeah, today I'm gonna talk about the overvalued stock market. So I have my laptop in front of me here, and I'm gonna show you guys some channels that I've kind of just looked at over these past, I guess, I don't know, few weeks or whatever. I wonder if you guys have heard about the quote unquote meme stocks that they're talking about. If you guys watch any economic news at all. So these are things like GameStop. I'm pretty sure you've probably heard about GameStop up until this point because GameStop, it's been like at least a couple months. I feel like it's been a few months at least, like maybe 3 or 4 months even now that GameStop has kind of been in the news in and out. And then now there's a new one. The AMC movie theater chain is another meme stock. And then obviously the cryptocurrencies like Dogecoin, Bitcoin, etc. Those are pretty much considered kind of meme stocks. And by meme stocks, they basically mean people, social media, things like sites like Reddit, and then even YouTube here, where people basically gather together and they discuss how to make money off of these stocks that are shorted by big hedge funds, essentially. So, I don't know too much about the stock market, but here's some channels. Honestly, let me record my screen. And hopefully this works. Because sometimes when I record my screen, it doesn't really work. Okay. Alright, so let's see how this works. Hopefully it captures all of it. Sometimes it only captures the first screen for some reason, so I'm just gonna experiment and see what happens here. But see, so now theoretically you're in my screen here when I do the editing. Let me show you some of this stuff. So let me just type in, or actually, you know what? Let me go to my history and show you the first one that I was looking at. See, look, this is how YouTube makes money. Look at all this. Look at all this stuff. And look at how everything's all time stamped too. This is how YouTube makes money, guys. Actually, technically, YouTube is a loss leader, meaning that they don't even really make money off of YouTube, but then they make money off of all the off of all the traffic it brings and the people that come to YouTube and do different stuff off of it using using other Google services. So that's funny there. But okay, let's show something. Let's just click on it. Okay, so this guy's still streaming even. Let me just mute it. But see, he's still streaming, and I don't even know how many. He had literally like 34,000 people watching his live stream. And he's basically just, he's literally trading on YouTube. Like he's trading in real time. That's what this is coming to. I mean trading in real time and 34K people watching him at once, like look, and then over 100K views since he started streaming, which was only like an hour and a half ago when he started. Like that's nuts. That's a lot of people streaming. Look at this guy. Can't wait until tomorrow. Like what? I mean, look, AMC, look, meme stocks, like just loaded up 110 more shares. Like that's crazy. Then watch out for people like this on videos. They're all scammers. You guys can see I wonder, see Fresh and Fit. I wonder if you guys watch any of these channels. Tech Lead. How My Family Survived Hyperinflation. That's funny. Like this might be something good. This is a good mixtape. let's see, meme stocks. Avoid paying tax. That's funny. Actually, I haven't even watched ALUX for like a long time. They're still in my notifications. That's why I started a YouTube channel straight up. I haven't watched this channel in like 2 years, and they're still on my like browsing, whatever you call it. They call it browsing features. That's what YouTube calls it. But like they're in my suggested videos and my home screen, like straight up. I know y'all probably watch Jordan Peterson a bunch, but I'm checking out more of my music there. See, AMC meme stocks. I mean, Elon Musk about AMC. See 18K people watch him talk about it. Like, look. I mean, it's crazy. This is overvalued stock market. 891 shares of AMC, end of play Thursday. You see how they're literally, I mean, people are playing with the stock market literally in real time. This is 1 minute ago. In real time from day to day. I mean, what, today's Thursday, right? Yeah, today's Thursday. End of play Thursday. I mean, come on, this is crazy. Like, it's like just so quickly you can just notice how it's just being played. It's nuts. Like, this is crazy. And look at how many super chats this dude got. This guy's getting a bunch of super chats, probably because he made all of these people money. Facts. He probably made all these dudes money. Look, free stocks. He probably made all these guys money. Like, off on short money too, because these guys are buying. Well, actually, I heard him say something earlier where he was like, buy and hold, don't sell. So he's like, buying is better than holding, which is better than selling. And apparently selling sucks. So if you want to like make some money, watch this guy, honestly. Because I'm more of a long-term thing. So you guys following me right now, probably eventually you might, to be honest, make money off of this stuff that I try to do, but not quickly. I'm a long-term thing. I'm talking about like years and decades. But if you want to make quick money and you have money to like spend and a little bit to risk here, watching people like this, you probably will make some short money. Like, you'll probably be pretty good because this guy seems to know what he's talking about. Like, let's look at just his channel in general. Like, he's been doing this for a while. This has been going on since COVID lockdowns, basically. He started his channel around when COVID lockdown started a year ago. And a lot of people are doing stuff like this. Granted, he's one of the most successful and his channel is pretty clean, so he's definitely one of the most successful. But look, a year ago, like, and he started off small too. Like, now he's getting hundreds of thousands of views, but back then he was, see, yeah, because look at how, even if you want to make a channel too, just talk about like stocks and things like that, because until it crashes, I'm like, Warren Buffett says it's gonna crash. And I mean, if you want to talk about stocks with anybody, you should definitely listen to Warren Buffett, because this dude, love him or hate him, I mean, you can say, oh, hedge funds suck and all this stuff, but I mean, that guy, the amount of money he's made off of value investing, like, if you want to talk about stock market, listen to that guy. But the Buffett indicator, apparently he says that the stock market's gonna crash, which makes complete sense to me, because you have everyday people literally trading in real time daily on the market, and I'm pretty sure all that's gonna crash, because I mean, just think about it. All the people that got free money that are now playing the market, all these companies, like, they call them zombie companies, right? Companies like AMC, which is a company of theater chains. So think about it. Who's really going to the movies right now? That's why the stocks are being shorted. So hedge funds are shorting the stocks. like AMC and GameStop, because who's going in to buy video games? Who's going in to watch movies? But then since they're shorting it, the people on Reddit and YouTube here and Twitter and all that, they're going in, putting their money in, and they're buying it and holding it in order to screw over the people with hedge funds. But then that there's some of they're making money in it somehow. Like, I mean, watch this guy, right? If you want to really know. I don't know too much about that stuff. Like, I'm kind of a different set of interest here, but than stock market. But I mean, I'm not even shocked that the thing's gonna crash, because the companies that people are buying, this guy has 34K people watching him in real time, and they're buying companies aren't aren't gonna be doing well. Like, no one's watching movies right now. No one's going in and buying video games anymore. Like, I can literally get video games for free off of. I have like two like Epic games on my other laptop. I have two basically sites that I can go to and literally get free games. Like, who's I mean, I love the days of going in and buying video games. I used to love going into GameStop and seeing all the new games, but this is like 10 years ago when I was in like high school or even middle school. That people just aren't buying games like that anymore. So these companies that people are getting into, a lot of them are just zombies, and those are only two. Those are like the meme stocks that people are really talking about a lot, but there's a bunch of these. So I'm not surprised that the whole thing is gonna crash soon. It just makes complete sense. And then there's other indicators, right? So it's not just this, but like, just think about how many people, like, I mean, this is like the 70s. Their money is valueless. Like, think about how much money they're printing, and all of it's going into, almost like a lot of it. I don't want to say all of it, but a lot of it is going to the stock market and hedge funds pockets that are just basically holding it, waiting for the next buying opportunity. Like, nobody's producing anything. I have Brave browser, or actually usually on my when I do screen captures, they don't show the notifications that I get from Brave browser. I have a couple of videos on using that. It's like not as great as I used to think, but I'm still using it. What else do I want to say here? I mean, look, like, definitely follow this guy's channel if you want to make some quick money. What's his name? Matt Kors. Definitely follow the guy's channel. Like, he's got some good stream my own finance journey to the moon, right? Like, look, he joined March 8th, 2020. That's like basically COVID time. That was right before lockdowns, and he just made it big off that. 5,000 subscribers. See, that was 6 months ago. He had 5K, 5,000, and then now look at that shit. Like, you can't make this stuff up, guys. You can't make that shit up. You can't make that stuff up. He has a pretty nice channel here, playlists. Yeah, I mean, you just can't make that stuff up. Like, that's crazy. And he's still live streaming it. Like, Ape Nation, like, I have a buddy that literally, he goes on this stuff and he's like, APE-in, APE-out, that's what he calls it. A real life buddy. He's like, APE-in and APE-out, and he's making so much money. He does it with cryptos, right? And he might do it with stocks now, because might as well, right? Like, if you just have an app, you have access to stocks and cryptos. So he does it with mainly cryptos, my friend. But he says APE-in, APE-out. That's what he says too. And he always talks about how it's all gonna crash eventually, so you just need to make your money and then dip. Like, that's literally what he tells me. Ape Nation. He's probably part of shit like this. I gotta ask him. I mean, there's so many channels like this too that it might not, he's probably part of a bunch of other ones. APE-in, APE-out. That's what he says. Look at this guy. Why all ape streamers went down is such a thing. No one cares about anything sustainable. It's just like you make your money and dip, and and these are young people too. Like, look at how young this guy is. Look at how young this guy is. Like everybody's just getting in, getting out. Like there's no worry about things that are sustainable. Like, that's what I'm trying to be. People say that this is like the 70s where a bunch of shit's inflated. Like I watch some channels and then they talk about, oh, this is like the 70s where they just recently got off the gold standard. I think they did that Nixon did that in 71. So then everything was getting inflated over the 70s. There was stagflation. So people's wages weren't going up. But people were working back then. Like now people aren't even working. But like people's wages weren't going up, but then everything was getting inflated because the government was printing money in order to, I don't even know what their goals were, to be honest. Like, but they got off the gold standard, so they were able to just like have free floating currencies. I mean, probably to fund wars, right? Like we said in the last video, you know how many wars there were? And then there was a whole oil shortage, so there's probably a bunch of just wars that we don't even know about that they were printing money to fund. Probably the same thing is going on today, and we're going to figure it out later. But just money being printed. And then the domestic population, like people were in lines for gas. There was a lot of social unrest. And they say, like some people are saying the 70s was worse than this, so shit, you know. Like if the 70s were worse than this. But the thing is, like, when the 80s came around, you had companies like Microsoft, Apple, and shit like that. They started doing pretty well. So I'm trying to get on that tip. Like, I'm not really trying to make quick money off of, like, people suffering, basically. Here almost is kind of, not necessarily suffering, but, like, I don't want to say that, but making money, just quick money off of, I mean, the companies are suffering straight up. Like, AMC isn't doing well, freaking. They're just cashing out, like, and just paying off their shareholders. Same with GameStop, man. Like they're not doing well as a company. But like what I'm trying to do is be like those, like not the same as Bill Gates, because I don't want to do all that. Like there's a lot of like sketchy shit he did, and like he screwed people over. So I don't quite want to do that. But I want to be kind of one of those companies that take off after all this bullshit happens, because everybody's focused on this nonsense. But people are making money, so I can't really call it all nonsense. Like, look at how much money this dude's making in real time, and he does this every day. Like, but you know, he literally does this like every day. He does this multiple times a day, actually, too. Like, look, you streamed 3 hours ago, 463K. He's getting 100K. Started streaming. Well, it was 35 minutes ago when I started watching, but now it's kind of longer. Look how many videos he did yesterday. He did 4 or 5 videos yesterday. Like, so he's doing that. He's taking off. He's definitely taking off and making a lot of money. So he's, you know, but I kind of want to do something more sustainable. Like, that's why I'm talking healthcare network and things like that, like new technology, because that's gonna be a stable money maker, and then you're gonna be talking possibly millions and billions off of that. Like, I don't know if this guy's making millions, but yeah, that's kind of what I'm like. Tech Lead, everybody's cashing in on this. Like, Tech Lead's all about Bitcoin lately. I don't know if you guys watch this guy. This guy's pretty good. You watch that guy. And then Ethereum, I was actually, one guy emailed me and I was talking about Ethereum. I'll have more videos to talk about Ethereum and all these blockchains, because Ethereum is basically Amazon's play into blockchains. Like, I don't think this is gonna be the big thing, even though, I mean, look, this guy, he looks like a pretty good guy. I mean, but I just don't think, even Cardano, some of these things might not be the next big thing, because it's all the same centralized story. Like, you know how many people are working on Cardano? That's not how things get big. Like, so many computer scientists working on making Cardano perfect. It's never perfect. You don't get big off of like just making it perfect. Like, the way Bill Gates started Microsoft, it was so haphazard. And same with Apple. Like that shit was so haphazard to begin with, and they didn't have professionals working on it from the start, like Cardano's having. They had like just haphazard people working on it, and then eventually they get professionals, but that's later. Like having professionals from the start, I don't know if that's how things start. Like but I'm pretty sure whatever's gonna happen is gonna be off of YouTube. Like the big thing, it'll be off of a platform like YouTube because it's gonna be off of Web 2.0, and then it's gonna move to Web 3.0. That's kind of what I'm kind of banking on, I guess, to be honest. Like banking on running low. Yeah, that might kind of be what I'm banking on. Yeah, so I mean, I guess, yeah, this video's getting pretty long now, so I'll just stop that here, to be honest. But like thinking about how this gonna crash, it makes so much sense. Like how it's gonna, the market might crash or just get low, but people are gonna make a bunch of money off of it. So definitely follow these kind of people if you want to make some quick money. Keep following me if you want to make long-term money, and just see how something can grow cool long-term, because that's what I'm kind of in it for. But yeah, this is basically all I got for now. I mean, it's crazy. People are, it is nuts, man. Apparently it was crazier in the 70s, so, right? Like that's what the old people say. I wasn't even born at that time, so I don't know. But it's pretty crazy now. The difference is now, though, that all the craziness is happening online. If you go offline and like go into the real world, you wouldn't even know basically any of this shit. You'd hardly know any of this shit, like unless you're in a place where there are shootouts all the time. Then you'll notice like how people are getting screwed. But like in my area, man, you don't even know any of this shit, man. In a suburb, dude, you don't freaking know. Like I could go out and play basketball later, which I might do. Like I've been doing that recently, and no one's gonna be talking about this shit really. Like all, if anything, like that whole MGTOW thing, that's probably getting more known than all this stock market stuff. Like MGTOW's probably getting more known because like because that's so freaking obvious that it's like hard not to notice that. But when the market crashes, then people will start talking about it even in the suburbs out here. Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure all this MGTOW shit, that's a leading indicator that things aren't going great. Like, cause this many young dudes just going MGTOW, that's fucking nuts. So like, but a lot of those young people, they have no name for it yet. They don't even call that shit MGTOW. They have no name for it yet. Even I didn't even have a name for this shit yet until last year. So yeah, but when the market crashes, then everyone's gonna notice that shit. Like I don't know how bad that will be, but yeah, I'm just gonna end this one here. Hopefully, you got some good insight or whatever. If anything, follow these channels, man. That's what I can say for quick money shit. Like some of y'all, like working jobs, you could like 10x your money literally in the next 2 months. You could 10x your money, and you would lose a bunch of money at the start because you wouldn't know what you were doing. But it's happening so fast that like you could gain that and then some. You could literally 10x your shit before everything crashes. And this guy says hold. If you have a bunch of money, go ahead and hold, because it's all going to come back up eventually. So if you have a shit ton of money, then definitely hold. But I mean, if you just want to make some quick shit and then move on to something else that's like more sustainably profitable, like you could 10x your money quickly and then move into something that's like more sustainable. I mean, that's people are literally, you have average people who are operating like hedge funds right now. Like that's literally what a hedge fund does. So you have average people. They used to give their money out to hedge funds to go manage their money, but I guess it's the democratization of the stock market essentially, because now the average person can operate as a hedge fund. So it's kind of funny because it's a good thing for like democratization and decentralization and all that shit. You want to say it's a good thing in that respect, but it's a bad thing because Now people are copying the same unsustainable models that led to like big wealth disparities and no production and all like the financialization of the economy. So at least it's democratized, right? So anyone can do it, but like at the same time, it's like now anyone can do a bad thing. So like if everyone jumps off a cliff, at least everybody can do it, right? Like at least if the rich people can jump off a cliff, you know, the poor people can jump off a cliff too, right? I mean, I don't know. Like, so it's good and bad at the same time, but fuck it, man. Like, that's all I got for this video. You know, comment, and definitely subscribe because we're going up and down with those subscribers and it's a long-term game here. Just remember that healthcare network, we haven't stopped with that, like, but it's just a long-term game here. So I'll catch y'all later. Peace out. Have a good day. Shit, see, this is a new angle, so I don't even know where the button is on this. I don't even know if I'm gonna cut this off either. Like, cause it's kind of funny. I'm trying to find... Fuck it, I'll probably actually cut that out. We'll see what happens. But yeah, peace out.